Member for Suffolk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, through meaningful engagement in sports, we can tap the creativity, abundance of pure talent, vitality, and ingenuity of our youth. And this is why, Mr. Speaker, I rise in full support of the motion presented here today for the financing of the National Sports Infrastructure Strategy and Action Plan. And my affirmation, Mr. Speaker, is to support the youth of St. Lucia, especially the youth of Soufrière from St. Jacques. And I am indeed pleased, Mr. Speaker, and thankful to the Honorable Prime Minister and Minister of Finance for indicating from day one that Soufrière would be the first beneficiary of this project. Mr. Speaker, today we are in this honorable house seeking permission of Parliament to borrow this sum of $42 million, of which $24 million will be going towards the sports program. And this, Mr. Speaker, this amount is for the concept, designed, and built of sporting facilities, world-class sporting facilities in 5 constituencies on the island: Soufrière, Dennery South, Micoud North, Micoud South, and Grosile. And we are very thankful for the works which will be carried out at the mini stadium in Soufrière, where we are going to have a complete rehabilitation and upgrade of the Soufrière mini stadium, where we are going to have an IAAF 400-meter track. We are going to have a FIFA artificial turf for football, upgrading of the lights at the mini stadium, Mr. Speaker, complete rehabilitation of the 2 courts at the mini stadium with synthetic material, lighting, seating. One will be dedicated for netball, and the other one, Mr. Speaker, will be for volleyball and tennis. And Mr. Speaker, we've heard the cries of the young people of Soufrière, because cricket is also very popular in Soufrière. The SPL T20 is very popular. We've had some beautiful matches there, especially Soufrière against Choiseul Craftmasters. And we have heeded to the calls of the young people of Soufrière and for St. Jacques that cricket must be given attention and priority. And therefore, we have acquired lands, Mr. Speaker, to have a second playing field in Soufrière, where we are going to dedicate it to a cricket ground solely at Ruby. It is going to be happening. You will see when it's going to happen, simultaneously. Okay? You will see, honorable member. Okay, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, as the Prime Minister alluded to earlier, government is investing in the infrastructural development of sports facilities. And through the Ministry of Sports, Youth and Sports, and NLA, we are looking at putting the programs in place. Programs which are going to be comprehensive, effective, organized, and well-structured for the development of youth and sport in the country. Training of the coaches, assistant coaches, managers, referees, umpires, emergency assistant personnel, and so on. Programs which are going to start at the grassroots level, Mr. Speaker, in all the disciplines. And from this, Mr. Speaker, we are hoping from those world-class facilities to get some of the best athletes in this country to represent us, not only locally, but regionally and internationally. Mr. Speaker, it is also important that you have competent individuals to manage those facilities. It is one thing to build those facilities, equip them, but management is also very critical. And with competent people managing those facilities, Mr. Speaker, I know we are going to have a proper maintenance program in place to maintain the facilities. What you have found in the past, Mr. Speaker, is that a lot of the facilities, key facilities in the country, have huge utility debt from electricity, water, and it is becoming burdensome. So I believe we need to have competent people to manage those facilities so that we do not find ourselves in those situations in the future. Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister made a very important point in his presentation that the private sector ought to be involved in this development of youth and sports. And on a SUFRA perspective, I look forward to working with the private sector, working with the hotels, the key hotels in SUFRA, to lend support to youth and sporting development in the constituency. Mr. Speaker, we have produced some world-class athletes in St. Lucia. SUFRA have had some good footballers, good cricketers, good athletes. So far, we have about 5 young persons from SUFRA in the US on scholarships. We have Shonasha Prevost, Claudina Constantine, Kivoy Lionel, who are enrolled at Essex County College in New Jersey. We have Jazani Henry enrolled in Alabama, and Zacharias Simon enrolled in South Carolina. So it is my hope, Mr. Speaker, with this sporting program, those facilities and programs, we are going to get more of our young people, not only from SUFRA, but throughout the length and breadth of St. Lucia, to have a family, my parliamentary colleagues, the very good people of SUFRA, the youth of SUFRA, the members of the SUFRA Youth and Sports Council, Font Saint-Jacques Youth and Sports Council, and the people of Font Saint-Jacques, the clubs, Rising Stars, Fifth United, Yuli Knights, Black Panthers, Face Stars, Challengers, Barons Drive, River Roots, Belfort Development Committee, Chateau-Belair Youth and Sporting Development Committee, Pont-Jean-Louis Bouton, a Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2019. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.